I can hear you.
I don't know why. AirPod headphone. The microphone on my AirPods just like stopped working yesterday. I have to switch everything over to my MacBook, which hopefully is fine. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a Bluetooth association thing and not the actual hardware problem.
No, it started happening after I updated to Big Sur. Even when I go into my sound preferences, I can't get any activity on the microphone for the AirPod Pro. I know that they're being recalled. Mine falls in that category, but it's more for the noise cancellation than the microphone. Anyway, all right, let's get started. So Hans, you are upper left for me today. How about we start with you?
Not much going on here since last time. I've been on client work. Been preparing at the last, like end of last week, and then have been working now. So I'm gonna try to get at least what I have pushed up, but I'll see when I have time for that.
Okay, Luke.
Client work too. The only thing related I've been watching is if Apple Silicon is ready for us, and the answer seems to be no, because Docker for desktop isn't ready, and Rust is tier 2, so it kind of sort of works, but they're not CI-ing it. Right. And I think it also means that it's harder for people to install stuff using Rust up. But since I don't have the Silicon, it doesn't matter. And it turns out that us not having a development kit was fine, because it turned out the development kit hardware didn't have virtualization, so we wouldn't have been able to Docker on it anyway, even if Docker had been ready with it. I mean, it not having virtualization is also why the Docker people don't, because they didn't get like privileged access to the Apple hardware or anything. So yeah, everything will have to be resetted for a while, and that's okay because everyone else is in the same boat as us.
Yeah, I would hope that some of these gaps get closed pretty quickly on these really big projects. Like definitely before the end of the year, hopefully within a month. Now I'm muted. Now I think I'm unmuted. I don't know. Anyway,
you're unmuted. Right.
Yeah, microphone's not a pain, but all right. So let's just go over to Lars.
Yeah, nothing much. I have a pull request on some news that I've been pinging Paul a little bit about, but that's about it for me. Haven't done any specific activities on Twitter. If there's anything to report, please ping me, because I haven't seen anything.
Okay, Paul?
Yeah, sorry about that, Lars. I have not had a chance to review that PR yet. I'll get to that right after the call here. I'll just take care of it.
No worries. It's bound to happen now and then.
Yeah, it's been a chaotic week or so. I got, since last week, I got the MLIR upgrade done. I've got enough of the infrastructure ported over to the C API that they finally, implemented to move quite a bit of code out of C++ into Rust. So that simplifies things, should make it a little bit easier for people to contribute to at least some parts of the CodeGen backend.
Is the C API you're talking about the one that the weekly newsletter said they made for Python originally?
Yeah, so they have Python bindings, and then there's the C API that's just sort of general FFI. I still need quite a few things that they're not exposing, but there was enough there that it was easy enough for me to just expose the things I need in the C++ code that's part of the MLIR crate to just port things over to use those bindings in general. That covers pretty much the entirety of the module builder use cases, as well as a variety of other things like running passes, lowering modules, things like that. Everything that'll live in C++ at this point will be strictly stuff that's needed to work with the actual table gen infrastructure and writing passes and things like that. So it'll be a little bit more focused on just the parts that are, specific to our code base rather than kind of our own, slap together FFI. Should make things quite a bit more efficient too, because there's not as much like copying around of stuff, but in general, that's not really the point. The point was just to get rid of a lot of extra maintenance that was needed to keep that stuff up to speed, and extra boilerplate that's needed anytime you introduce a new API, things like that. So ideally, where I'd like to get is in the future, as MLIR grows, get to a point where I don't have to have any custom like LLVM. We're still a ways from that, but getting rid of as much of the custom stuff as possible is good. And then once we get to a point where all we have is just the C++ code that specific to the EIR dialect, like that does not require like a forked LLVM. And if we can use a mainline LLVM, that gives us some benefits because we can, distribute like mainline LLVM releases, like somebody can install it via their package manager and just use that versus us having to ship that as part of our, releases. But that's not a huge deal anyways, but one of the benefits. Made a little bit more progress on the garbage collection stuff, but the other changes took the bulk of my time, so that's still in progress. That's about it for me. I also spent some time, looking into porting over the assembly shims for x86-64 to ARH64 to support Apple Silicon, just support ARM in general. I just need to dedicate a little bit of time to actually write that code. I don't have, well, I have an ARM machine handy, but it's not ARH64, so I'm gonna probably just look for a Pi that has that architecture and then run some tests against that just to make sure that it's all kosher. I'm probably not going to get one of the new MacBooks for quite some time. So until I do, or until one of us does, we won't have a great way to test on that platform. So,
Well, like I said, my wife has, I just got her the Air, got it yesterday. So I can try to compile and provide feedback on what's not working, any type of error log from it.
We could
For
also
sure.
just like rent it cheap, like ARM VPS. Those are pretty cheap.
I mean, I would think our
Sure.
GitHub Actions provider through Mac Stadium will eventually have them anyway. But of course, we know deving on CI sucks. So like, yeah, renting a server is probably better for a more dev-like environment.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's some opportunity for us to run builds against it. It's more the development process for fixing bugs. That's where having a local machine is handy. But as Hans pointed out, using like a VM is an option as well, because at least then you can, remote shell and do some work. With a CI server, you'll know whether or not the build fails or whether your tests fail, but you don't really have the opportunity to use that as like a development environment. So,
Okay.
and Brian, it's helpful for sure to be able to actually run stuff on a Apple Silicon machine. It's more, again, being able to actually make sure the code works before we try and do any builds. Like I can write the assembly without running it, but there's always little things that are off. So I basically
Brian,
need to have
how
a machine.
how is your wife with assembly?
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, let's just have her do it. That would be a lot easier. So I don't know if there's anything else of note this week.
Not really. I went back to the history. We didn't have anything else come up in the channel other than just M1.
Yeah, like I said, it was super busy week for me the past week, so I was not paying attention to anything except for what I could make time for.
Mhm.
But hoping that calms down soon, but it's kind of looking like it's going to be a slog for the rest of the year with this space. So.
Okay. Let's call it there then. Unless someone had some general topic they want to discuss.
I don't think so. I feel like there was something. Oh, right. Hans, the forked crates that we were maintaining, can we switch to like newer Rust and fix those build problems? And
So the creator run for the needed like allocated parameters is finished and it's looking good, but they're waiting on like one maintainer to approve the pull request for merge.
God damn it.
Yeah, and it's been like that for a week now, like over a week. So I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it should go through soon, maybe, possibly.
All right. Oh, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess as soon as that, if you see that that's gone through, ping me for sure, and I'll start getting that taken care of. Be nice to get all that caught up, and we're definitely going to need that in order to pick up the target changes for Apple Silicon in order to build against that. I mean, not that we're running on that machine right now, but like if Brian wants to test on his wife's laptop, we'll need to be able to use a version of Rust that has that target spec. And I think they added that like June or July, somewhere in there. I forget exactly when. But no sense in doing any work to hack around upgrading Rust until they get those changes merged. So they're basically on the cusp. Might as well wait.
Yeah, I mean it's annoying too because it's such like a simple thing and it's gonna go through, but you're just waiting for a guy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
You could
that's how it
like,
goes.
hey, what's happening here in the comments? That could maybe work.
Yeah, I mean, it never hurts to like ping them if it's been more than a week, just to see. Because if something's just hanging on somebody merging the pull request, then the longer it takes, the more likely it is to need more work, keeping up to date. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I guess that's all I had that I can think of. If anything else comes up, I'll ping the channel.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Later.